SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
State Treasurer David McRae has put hundreds of millions back into the hands of Mississippi citizens, expanding the state's affordable college and career savings program and also returning record amounts of unclaimed money. Check out how Treasurer David McRae's office can help you, your business, or your organization. Treasury.ms.gov. You're listening to Sports Talk Mississippi On Demand, presented by Pearl River Resort. Escape to Choctaw, Mississippi and enjoy world-class gaming, the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, and Geyser Falls Water Park. Escape to Pearl River Resort.
Sports Talk Mississippi is on the air. Sports Talk Mississippi is powered by C Spire. Power your home or business with C Spire Fiber. To learn more, visit supertalk.fm/C Spire. C Spire Fiber powers Super Talk Mississippi. To the junction, in the grove, and to the top. This is Sports Talk Mississippi. On your radio and in the game, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
It's a Tuesday in March, and yet we've got some fun baseball sports to talk about on, obviously, this edition of Sports Talk Mississippi. Michael Borkey and Brian Hadad with you. Part 3 of Southern Miss versus the SEC in-state opponent. This time they're on the road, though, in Starkville. We'll talk about that. Ole Miss has a midweek game with Memphis. A change in the lineup that perks your ears when you hear about it. We will talk about that. We will get into a couple of baseball things as well, the D1 Top 25, and also a stat of the day from our good buddy Jacob Rudner, which we can have some fun with. Dima is going to join us in about 30 minutes from right now to talk about the Southern Miss side of things. Kendall Rogers is going to join us at the top of the 4 o'clock hour, although he upset some people with a tweet. Where
did he? I missed this.
He was just wrong. I'm not going to. It's an attendance-related thing that it's harder to get fans to go to Texas games than to Mississippi State games. It's like, buddy, what are you talking about? Austin's huge. Yeah. Baton Rouge is huge. Starkville is very small. And getting more people to go to games in Starkville is more impressive than Texas getting not as many people to go to Texas games. But whatever. We don't have to hash that out. But it's an incorrect opinion. It's harder to get people to go to games at State and Ole Miss than it is Texas because Austin is massive. There's more people there locally that you should be able to draw from. They just don't care as much. But whatever. Anyway, so all that and more to talk with you about. NCAA tournament odds as well. Sweet 16 getting underway on Thursday. So a lot to get to today.
There is a lot to get to here on Sports Talk Mississippi. We're glad that you have joined us here in the Pearl River Resort studios. Today would be another great day to be at Pearl River Resort. We are stacking days. It would be great to be at Pearl River Resort. Get ahead of the curve. Don't look back and say, I should have gone. Look ahead and say, that's when I'm going. Book your stay right now at pearlriverresort.com. C-Spire text line is open to you at 601-879-4395. The best teams know how to get even better. That's why C-Spire constantly enhances their wireless, fiber internet, and business solutions for you. Visit cspire.com today. C-Spire, inspired by you.
Yeah. Glad the camera's back today.
Yes, it is. It is. And as always, a shout out to the GOAT, Houston McDavid, who was able to figure it out and get us back up and running. And,
so what did you unplug?
I have no idea. It wasn't me. Look, that thing is, so the plug on the camera, it's right here. It runs down under the desk into a cabinet that you have to have a screwdriver to get into, which, I don't have one here in the office. And so I have no idea what happened. I leave it to the smart people. They fixed it. That's all we need to know.
Wait, they baby-proofed the equipment?
Well,
you got baby-proofed.
I could get in there. I know how to work a screwdriver. I could bring one from home.
Somebody got baby-proofed in there.
Yes, it's just a thing. Anywho,
baby-proofing. So they've got those things that hold the cabinets. Obviously, yeah. Every time I open a cabinet, he's 6 now. I don't need any baby proofing. It's just I have not de-baby proofed.
Right.
Most of it. But every cabinet I open, like here in the office, if I'm in a room where there's a cabinet I need to open, I will still instinctively put my finger in the top of it to push the thing down to open the cabinet, even though there's nothing there. It's just a force of habit. I will do that every time I open cabinets now.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Having the bumpers on the corners of things, though, has really saved me a lot of... I can't tell you the number of times I have hit the table corner bumpers.
Yeah, they say baby-proof. It's really idiot-proof.
Really.
So that's why you and I are beneficiaries of it.
I have saved myself.
Yes.
James from Petal. Hey, Dad, you're going to break this down for sure. Legislation happenings today after Borkey spot on middays. Bill introduced by Tommy Tuberville. Let me tell you about what's going to happen.
I saw the details of this bill, and thanks to the fact that I am an avid Sports Talk Mississippi listener, and I listen to Michael Borkey when he goes on these tangents about these kind of things, I knew that bill is DOA. No chance to get passed. And Tom Fernelli just tweeted this. You can tell Tuberville's become a true politician. He created a bill that had something we all liked, an idea that we could all get behind, and then he added something that absolutely killed it, which is what politicians love to do. Here's a bill with everything you want on it. By the way, here's this thing that nobody on earth will vote for. So that's what Tuberville did.
So what is it? What is the thing?
The transfer. You limit it. You're going to try to limit the transfers. Again, you can't do that, and the Supreme Court is going to rule you that way.
You can't do it unless the players agree to it. But it won't pass because here's the state of politics. Whether you love Tuberville or hate him or somewhere in between, he's not the guy that's going to get a bill passed through both bodies where both sides of the aisle come to the table and agree on something that he wrote.
There's that too.
It's not going to happen.
Not popular.
0% chance that bill becomes law. It's a press release.
Exactly. He looks like he's working. Yeah. It's sort of like the Seinfeld episode. If you just look annoyed, people think you're busy. It's like,
yeah.
People think you're working. So you put out a statement. Oh, I'm working. I'm trying to get this fixed. Never mind that we're at war. And we're over here worried about NIL. Really appreciate our country's leaders locked in to the real important matters here.
Long story short,
no chance.
Not going to happen. 0% chance that Tommy Tuberville's
better chance that Tommy Tuberville coaches the 1999 season at Ole Miss than it is this.
Remember when he was at dinner with a recruit?
Yes.
And then got the call that he was going to get another job, and he left the table and
people voted for him.
Did not pay the bill, didn't tell the recruit and his family that he just left.
He ghosted
never came back.
Absolutely ghosted him. So, very, very trustworthy individual.
He didn't pay either, right? He dined and dashed.
Surely one of the assistant coaches that was probably there with him had to pick up the tab and got reimbursed. But yes. Answer to your question is yes.
Yeah. Lucas says, have a feeling Tiger's playing in the Masters. He's playing tonight on TGL. So, yeah, that's that simulator, just kind of goof-off league that some of the pros are doing. And, frankly, it's kind of fun TV for a Monday night with nothing else going on. I don't watch every match, but I'll put it on because they just kind of goof off and have fun and hit into a simulator and built a cool arena and whatnot. But, yeah, Tiger is playing in that tonight. It's the playoffs. I don't quite understand how the playoffs work or anything. They put a teaser video out there, and he hit a patented Tiger stinger. Looked great, and then he walked away. And it's like, that walk doesn't look nimble. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that walk on flat ground can do the grounds at Augusta. But I would love it. It'd be a fun storyline, but him walking away did not look like a guy that's ready to give you 4 rounds there. But who knows? We'll see. Interesting little teaser there. Tonight in Starkville, Billingsley v. Crabtree. Hey, Dad, I know you're going to be there, obviously, tonight. You're not going to be there.
No, it's my wife's birthday. I got to go. We got to go to dinner.
Well, of course.
And it's a big birthday. It's the same as mine. So I won't say how old she is, but you can, if you know anything about me, you know how old I am.
She's 40. It's just
29.
Yeah.
But so I unfortunately I tried to convince her. I was like, you love baseball. Why don't we just go to the game? I'll just go to the game. I won't cover it. I'll just go with you. But she wanted to go to dinner. So
absolutely, yeah.
So I got to do that. That's fine. But so anyway, you were saying about this game, though.
There is a game happening, regardless of your attendance. We'll talk about it, of course, after the break as well. But what do you think?
I'm interested to see how it goes because you look back a year. And that was not this year's Mississippi State team is much better than last year's. I don't think anybody can argue that fact. Last year, State goes down to USM, loses. I think it was 3-0 was the finals. Relatively close game. State never was really in it. They come to Starkville and State run rules Southern Mississippi. 18-3 was your final score. Absolutely killed them on a Wednesday afternoon here in Starkville. I don't think that's going to happen again, but I'm interested to see how it plays out because you had a close game down in Hattiesburg. State undefeated at home this year. Have not lost a game here at Duty Noble Field. And as we mentioned, a much better Mississippi State team. But at the same time, how does State handle things with the pitching, right? We still don't have an update on Ryan McPherson. I expect to get one after the game. At least I'm hopeful that we'll get one after the game. But, Billings will get in the start. O'Connor said he's going to try to run through some guys. But at the same time, you got to have an eye ahead to the weekend because one of your bullpen guys is coming to take a start. There's just no way around that.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. We'll keep talking about this game. Look at Ole Miss's lineup. Again, there's something interesting in it that we will talk about as well on this Tuesday afternoon. I almost said Monday. I'm so glad it's not Monday. But we are glad that you guys are with us from the Pearl River Resort Studio. Talking baseball when we come back.
From the venerable best sports talk in the state.
It's the best thing.
Say that again.
We the best on 3. 1, 2, 3. We the best.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Super Talk Mississippi.
Dwight says, contrasting with the Townsend update last week where it was good news and Ole Miss released a statement pretty soon, taking this long for MRI results. Can I talk today? You're a professional talker. MRI results doesn't sound promising. That is one thing that I am, monitoring the situation. But we have not gotten an answer yet about
so
him
when did
in any way.
When did the Townsend info come out?
Monday.
When we talked to him?
So,
or did he have a press conference?
It was Monday. Okay, so we asked him Monday, and that was when he was with the doctor. Townsend puts on Instagram on Monday night a picture of him, and it was like good to go. And then I think it was Tuesday morning is when they released the hey, rehabbing, nothing serious. He's going to be fine. So I think that, if I remember correctly, that was the timeline. But Townsend broke his own news on Instagram.
There you go. Well, that hasn't happened yet. I mean, like I said, I talked to O'Connor yesterday around 11. They didn't have the information yet, or at least they weren't willing to share it. I would imagine after tonight's game, somebody's going to ask, do you have an update? And if they don't give one today, you certainly know he's not pitching this weekend, and it might be bad. I would be willing, at that point, I start with thinking, okay, this is not great. One thing to remember with McPherson is, and I'm like 99.9% sure about this, but, yeah, McPherson had Tommy John in high school. He's already had the procedure. The odds of it being that again are very, very low, right? Normally once they get in there and they do that procedure, you're good to go, right? That thing's like a rubber band at that point. So I think it's going to be something else. So if you're worried that it's Tommy John, it feels like the odds are against that. But we shall see.
Yeah. Interesting going into this series, too, that you've got two teams very likely to be down to a weekend starter.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, I talked to Chase Parham today for the podcast, and he said he expects Townsend to be able to pitch this weekend.
Interesting.
So just based off of what he's been told, his intel, he expects him maybe on a pitch count, but would be surprised if he doesn't throw the first pitch on Saturday.
He hasn't gone deep into games by design early in the season anyway, and I do wonder what they do with Sundays, but that's a conversation for after Sunday happens. Libbert could be great, and if he is, then great, but I'd be willing to bet that this is kind of a one more shot situation with their Sunday starter, and then if it doesn't go well, you got to give somebody else the ball in that spot, because you got to start games better than what you've started with him, and this lineup is not the best prove-it lineup to face as a pitcher,
right?
Considering how good they are top to bottom. But fascinating series. We'll get to that. Let's focus back on tonight, though. I mean, another huge opportunity for Southern Miss. We'll talk to Dima here in a second. From the state perspective, revenge, quote-unquote, is not on the mind here, really, but it's an opportunity for revenge, at least from the fan perspective.
Well, I'm sure the players, like, hey, they got us, let's get them. You know, you want to do that. You want to defend your home field. It's a good RPI game for both teams, honestly. I mean, for Southern Miss, it's a great RPI. A quad one win on the road is a huge thing. But for State to be able to defend their home turf and get a top 10 RPI game would be fantastic for them. So, yeah, you're right. It's not like football where they beat you and you got to sit and stew on it for a year before you get to see them again. This is another situation where, you know, you've played them a couple weeks ago. Teams are a little different. You know, I think State's a different team than they were when they played in Hattiesburg. I'm sure USM fans would say their team is different in some ways. And it's just going to be about, you know, this is about bullpens tonight, right? I feel like whoever gets just a little bit more, gets 10% more than the other one does, is going to win this game. Billingsley's an interesting choice to start for Mississippi State. He has not had a ton of success this year, but it's been coming out of the bullpen. Maybe giving him a start changes his mentality, changes the way he wants to do things. I like his arm talent.
8 walks to 4 strikeouts this year.
Yeah, his arm talent is good, but he's struggled with finding the zone. So, you know, maybe having Maluski back there as your catcher gives you a little bit more confidence. I think defensively he gives you a lot more than Raymond or James have been giving you. We'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, for State, if they lose this game, it's just like the other game that they lost in Hattiesburg. It's not the end of the world. You know, you'd like to have the win, but if you lose and you go out, if State loses this game, but then goes out and takes 2 out of 3 or sweeps Ole Miss, who cares? You know, at that point, it's not a big deal. So, should be a really good game. These are 2 really, really good baseball teams, 2 teams that will play deep into the postseason this upcoming. We get into May and June, and we'll see if what happened last year, if home field is the difference maker.
I think you touched on this, but I do want to get to the question on the text line. What are your thoughts on Valinka starting Friday and State going TBD Saturday, especially if Townsend cannot go? But even if he can go, again, I mean, it's still his first game back after missing a week with injury. I personally would go TBD Sunday if it were up to me, considering what Libbert's put out there so far. But what do you think?
If it were up to me, I would go TBD Friday. I would keep Valinkas on Saturday. I don't want to upset his schedule. I feel like he's a cheat code on Saturday. He has been the best pitcher in the conference on Saturdays. He's been really good in these first 2 starts in conference play. Could have been SEC Pitcher of the Week this week if Alabama didn't have a guy throw a complete game, no-hit shutout. But yeah, he was incredible against Vanderbilt on Saturday. And you're going to have to move him up next week anyway, right? I don't want to move him up to Friday this week and then move him up to Thursday next week because you're playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I would keep the back 2 the same and figure out Friday. Going up against Hunter Elliott, it's going to be a challenge anyway. But Elliott had a great start this past Friday, but you know that he's been a little inconsistent this year.
That was his best start of the year for sure, yeah.
And so some of these teams who've touched him for 2 or 3 runs, State's offense maybe could touch him for 4 or 5 and run the pitch count up and get him out and get into that Ole Miss bullpen a little earlier.
Especially if he's given up free bases, which had been a problem up until last Thursday.
So I don't know what the plan is, and I asked O'Connor about that. If you were listening yesterday, you heard that interview. I would keep Valinkas on Saturday for the time being and just kind of figure it out from there. Because like I said, he's going to move up a day next week one way or the other, right?
Yeah.
He's definitely going to pitch on Friday, all things considered. But I would not make that move. I will say this, though. If you do move him up and you go – if you do that, I'm not going TBD on Saturday. I'm going to put Stone on Saturday. And then Sunday, if it gets into typical Sunday game in the SEC, and it's the offenses that have the advantage, well, then you would give the advantage to State there. State's offense is better than Ole Miss's. I would if we're talking about a game that finishes with a final score of like 17-9, you would always, just as on paper, you would think State would have the 17.
You would think so, yeah. Just because of what that offense is. Tonight, Ole Miss is at Memphis. It's just one of those midweek games. You go up there and win and get ready for a much bigger weekend series. Memphis, most certainly not Southern Miss. But interesting in the lineup. So usual at the top, Federico Becerra, Unimark, Furness. Reuter's going to catch tonight. Foley getting the night off. Sermons is going to DH. Decker, of course, at second. Pacella's going to get another start in left. Here is, I keep saying Pacella. It just messes with my head. Pacella is going to get a start in left. Owen Payno going to start at shortstop for Ole Miss tonight.
Okay, I know that's been an area that has been interesting for y'all.
Ole Miss is, again, one of the worst fielding teams in the SEC, although it's been a little bit better lately. And Randall, hitting .241, has 6 errors on the season as well. Is this just a night off for Randall, or is this giving Payno another, hey, here's an opportunity for you, young man. Go take it. Here's your chance now. Go take it. Nobody has grabbed that shortstop position by the horns. Can that be you? I don't know, but that was interesting to see that Payno's going to get the start tonight over Randall. Again, Randall just had he had a better weekend at the plate this weekend against Kentucky, but I don't know. I don't know what this means. Maybe nothing, maybe something, but that perked me up. Everybody else but the catcher is playing tonight. So that, to me, says that's something that we should read into a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Again, because Randall had his best weekend at the plate this season, really, this weekend.
Yeah.
But everybody else is playing except for you. So why?
So is that, I don't know, one last chance? Because we know the ceiling on Payno is high.
That's what they think, yeah.
They think he's an elite player. Maybe not at shortstop, but find a way to get him into the lineup somewhere. I don't know. I don't know the answer. That's an interesting change by Mike Bianco for sure.
601-879-4395, the C Spire text line. We will continue to preview this game upcoming in Starkville tonight with Dima Mixon. He will also recap what happened in Hattiesburg. Southern Miss back-ended the series against Troy in impressive fashion, so we'll talk about that with him when we come back.
Surprise for everyone.
Give it to me. More Sports Talk Mississippi right now on Super Talk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi back with you here on a Tuesday afternoon. Brian Hadad, Michael Borkey. We go down to the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. Dima Mixon joins us from Pine Belt Sports, Super Talk Eagle Hour. En route to Starkville as we speak from Hattiesburg. I said just a minute ago that, Dima, these two teams are different from when they played each other a few weeks ago. In your mind, what's the biggest difference between Southern Miss today versus that game in Hattiesburg a few weeks ago?
I don't know if there's necessarily a huge difference. They're going to still do exactly what they did against Mississippi State a few weeks ago, which is roll out a bunch of arms tonight. And, really the biggest difference is probably just the offense might not be as strong as it was earlier in the season. They did start to turn the corner this weekend against Troy. But that would probably be the only difference in my mind. The biggest difference is by far that Colby Allen might pitch tonight in Starkville. That would probably be the biggest difference. He obviously was their ace when Southern Miss was playing Mississippi State last, and Ostrander moved him back to the bullpen from the Friday night role, and I would expect him to pitch tonight. So that would probably be the biggest difference, that you're going to see that kind of quality arm in the game tonight.
And of course, it would be a homecoming of sorts for Colby Allen, who played his high school ball at Starkville Academy, just down the road from where I'm sitting right this second. This USM team, I thought that they had a good series this past weekend, because 2 weeks ago at Arkansas State, they lose game 1, they get game 2, and then game 3 kind of gets away from them. This time they lose game 1, but they bounce back and get the second 2 games of the series from Troy. Do you like what you've seen thus far in Sunbelt play? I mean, from my perspective, I didn't expect them to be 3-3. I thought they'd be 4-2 at worst, maybe 5-1. But what are you seeing it a little more closely than I am? What do you think of these Golden Eagles through the first 2 weeks of Sunbelt play?
Yeah. The Arkansas State series was, they ran into 3 lefties. Arkansas State has 3 lefties in their rotation. They were all pretty good, so they really held down Southern Miss's offense for the most part. Arkansas State just got a few more hits, and Southern Miss made a couple errors, and that was kind of, that series, and that was the first series that Southern Miss has lost since last March, I believe, in the Sun Belt. So, and then the Troy series, Troy really battled. That was a team that came in under 500. A lot of questions about them, but they probably performed the best of their capabilities all season for sure. They hit almost every one of Southern Miss's pitchers, which has just not been the case, and they really battled. But at the end of the day, like we've seen so many times before, Southern Miss's bullpen rose to the challenge and held them down just long enough for Southern Miss's offense to come to fruition. But as far as starting 3-3, I'm with you where it was a little surprising, but I don't think it's anything that is detrimental to the rest of the season. I mean, you probably faced 2 of the top 4 teams in the Sun Belt in your first 2 weekends, so I'm not very concerned about the conference record at the moment.
Thomas Crabtree getting the start for the Golden Eagles tonight. Now, as you mentioned, and Christian Ostrander told us on Monday, I don't know if it'll be the same situation as a new pitcher every inning, kind of the way they did it down in Hattiesburg, but you expect to see a bunch of different arms for the Golden Eagles. But what about Crabtree? Could a transfer from Tennessee, what is he going to bring to the mound tonight?
Yeah, he started on Saturday on the weekend rotation against Troy, and he only went an inning and a third because Troy was able to hit him up a little bit. I think it was very surprising, honestly, to see him start. I thought it was going to be Causey, which is the exact same guy who started against State the last time, and he's been really starting his midweeks a lot. He's going to be fastball splitter kind of guy, Crabtree is. His fastball hasn't really been that deceptive, which is why he's been pulled early. And obviously with Mississippi State's offense, that seems like something they can probably feast on. So I'm kind of surprised, and I would expect him to be I wouldn't expect him to be in there any more than 2 innings. I wouldn't expect really any Southern Miss pitcher to be longer than 2 innings to 1 inning. I mean, that's just kind of how they do these midweek games. They're going to run these guys out inning by inning. So they've done that in every game so far in midweek. So I wouldn't expect anybody longer than 2.
Is there anybody you don't expect at all tonight? I know you mentioned Colby Allen, but USM obviously went through some arms on the weekend. They want to keep their guys as fresh as possible for Sunbelt play. Is there anybody, a key guy for the Golden Eagles that you would not expect to see tonight?
Probably not, outside of Graydon Harris, who's the ace. I think everybody else is pretty much on the table. Cross Sibley is, kind of the lefty guy, their first guy out of the pen. He threw 80 pitches on Saturday, so I think it's probably unlikely that you see him. But, I mean, it's still a possibility he comes in. I mean, he has the arm capabilities to come in and give them an inning. Camden Clark did 2 2/3 on Sunday, so I would think he's probably good for an inning. Josh Hawk, who's probably their Josh Hawk and Camden Sundstrom, they're 2 better relievers. They did what they normally do on the weekend, and they both come in on midweek. So, I mean, it's pretty much all cards on the table for Southern Miss. But you're going to see a lot of freshmen, and to start the game, you're going to see names you probably aren't used to seeing. And then if Southern Miss is able to keep themselves in the game and potentially even have a chance to win the game, then you'll probably see the Colby Allens, the Josh Hawks, Camden Sundstroms coming at the end.
If you go back to that game in Hattiesburg a few weeks ago with Ben Higdon and that home run that I'm not 100% sure ever landed.
Dre Barrett, you mean?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Dre Barrett. That's not a guy, Barrett's been a good player for Southern Miss, but he's only hitting .237 on the year. He's not the guy that I think you or I would have circled and said he's going to have the big hit in this game. Who's a player that could be like that today for the Golden Eagles? Somebody, outside of the Morrison, Urban, Gillespie guys at the top of the stats that you could say, hey, he made a big impact today.
Kyle Morrison for sure. This guy has really come along since that Mississippi State game. I think he's is the leading hitter for Southern Miss right now as far as average goes. He has the most home runs. Do not throw this guy a fastball. He will take it to the moon. He's just been a real nice pickup. They've actually moved him all the way up into the 2-hole. He was, I believe, probably in the 6 or 7 hole when Southern Miss last played State. So Kyle Morrison is definitely a name. Another name to be at least aware of is a guy by the name of Gray Eubanks. This is the DH spot that Southern Miss has just tried to figure out for the past month that they just can't seem to figure out. It was Stelly. They moved some other players around, but they've settled on the freshman Gray Eubanks, who had a really good weekend. He was 4 for 8 from the plate and a couple of RBIs. He was 3 for 4 on Sunday. So I would expect him to be, at least a factor tonight. You mentioned Big Ben Higdon. He will not play tonight. He has a hamstring issue, so Southern Miss will start Caleb Stelly in right field. So no Higdon in the lineup tonight for Southern Miss, more than likely.
Yeah, you mentioned Eubanks there. Technically, Southern Mississippi's leading hitter obviously doesn't have the at-bats to qualify with like Morrison and Urban do, but he is hitting .357 on the season. Before we get out of here off of baseball, Southern Miss started spring practice today. I noticed it's also Coach Blake Anderson's birthday. How do you, that's a poor planning. I got to be honest with you. It's your birthday. Start practice tomorrow. Last week we talked about State and Ole Miss in the spring and things we could learn. And my comment about Southern Mississippi was there's just so much newness, right? I think Bill Connolly put out an article with returning production, Southern Mississippi near the bottom of the country because they've just lost so many players, so many new faces coming in. What are you thinking about with this Golden Eagle team in the spring? What are some things you think you can learn that you would like to learn about them?
I mean, I would just like to see exactly how they stack up. I mean, this is going to be a roster with almost 75 new players on it. And none of these guys we've laid eyes on. It's like entirely new rooms. Like, it's not even like they're returning 1 or 2 guys from these rooms. You have like 8 new offensive linemen. You have like 5 new wide receivers. You have 3 new quarterbacks. You got 3 new running backs. You got 4 new linebackers. Like, it's every single room where you just have this influx of new people that we haven't really been able to lay eyes on. So I think, for spring camp, for at least us as reporters, you're looking at it going, I just want to see who looks good. I want to see where they think these guys stand in the depth chart, because there's just so much new that it's almost impossible for you to wrap your mind around a team, that you could put out there that you would feel decent about the depth chart. Obviously the quarterback position is a significant question mark with them losing Braylon Braxton. They brought in the guy from Illinois, and Ethan Hampton. So, looking at him to start, all their running backs they lost, all their receivers they lost. So all your skill position guys, to see them, I guess, run, would be great. So, but yeah, it's a lot of new and quite something that I've just kind of not really wanted to figure out, but now that spring football is here, it's time to figure it out. So.
About 60 seconds. Do you think that Hampton, the transfer, is going to be that starting quarterback for Southern Miss if you had to make a guess today, or could John White or Landry Liddy end up with that job?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely the front runner. I mean, you don't bring in a guy like that without, feeling confident about him, at least being the front runner in the job. John White, I've heard, has, done a lot of things over the offseason to get himself back into position to be that starting quarterback. So I'm interested to see him. But yeah, it seems like it's Hampton's to lose at this point. But again, I haven't seen him throw. I haven't even seen him in person yet. So I don't want to make like a for sure, if that makes sense, on him yet.
Gotcha. Enjoy the press box. Dima, go get you some smoked wings from Two Brothers down in the concession stand. You will not regret that decision.
Okay, I will. Thank you guys for having me on.
Dima Mixon, the SuperTalk Eagle Hour, and of course, Pine Belt Sports joins us on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. He will not regret that decision if you're headed to the ballpark. The best ballpark concessions item at Dudy Noble Field is the smoked wings. Don't sleep on them. You definitely want to try them. All right, when we come back, a little bit of an announcement. It was made earlier on Twitter, but I want to talk about it here on the show. We will be saying goodbye to someone.
Neither one of us.
And nothing's going anywhere. We'll do that when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi.
from the Venable Glass.
Mississippi. Sports Talk Mississippi is back.
This is it.
Super Talk Mississippi.
Ahem. You show a little respect for your country.
I think
National
I might
anthem.
be taking the
National
World Cup day
anthem
off.
playing.
I think I might be taking that day off.
What?
The World Cup day when we're supposed to be playing during
That's
the
fine.
show.
I'm just saying, when we play the national anthem here on the show, you're sitting there looking at your phone, looking at your Tinder app or whatever. You pay it, give this country the respect it deserves.
Gross.
I'm just saying. Over there Snapchatting with God knows who.
Snapchat.
Yeah. There you go. Sports Talk Mississippi. I'm Brian Hadad. He's Michael Borkey.
I've had Snapchat since I was 19 or 20. There's one reason to have Snapchat.
What is it?
If you have a girlfriend or you have a boyfriend and they have Snapchat, that is the biggest waving red flag. I mean, you ever seen one of those flags in front of a car dealership?
Mm-hmm. Like
picture
the wacky
that.
waving arm inflatable guy?
Exclusively red.
Okay.
That is what Snapchat is.
Okay. I've never had Snapchat, so it's not an issue for me.
There is one reason to have Snapchat.
I'm too old. I'm 50, so
it's
I don't
to
have
exchange messages you don't want anybody to see. That is why you have Snapchat.
I understand. I understand now. So that's what you were doing while
That's why I deleted it after college.
That's
like
why
a normal
while our
person
national
did.
anthem was playing, you were doing that.
Yeah.
Earlier
like
today on the app known as Twitter, and nobody's going to call it anything different, Robbie Falk announced he is stepping away from Thunder and Lightning. He goes into a lot more detail tomorrow on the podcast, of which there are 3 remaining with Robbie. His last
He's
day
going to LSU.
It's just
following
different.
Kiffin.
Hashtag just different. No, he's not doing anything like that. I will let him make his own announcements regarding his future, but he is stepping away from Thunder and Lightning. I want to make it very clear that I am not stepping away from Thunder and Lightning. I will still continue to produce a 5-day-a-week Mississippi State podcast. You have nothing to worry about there. We are in negotiations to replace him. I have several options on the table. And if worse comes to worse, guys, I will just do it myself. And we'll have a lot more interviews and such on the show. I did get one tweet today that said, Michael Borkey, if you could have like a road to Damascus kind of moment and convert, you're more than welcome to take over. But you're going to have to change
honestly, I think a once-a-week appearance would be fun.
I'm just saying.
Because the State fans that actually give me a chance, not the losers that post on message boards. I mean the people that actually give me a chance.
I post on message boards.
I know, but you know what I mean.
We just got a pin from Alex for tomorrow's remote. We are in the middle of the water.
Yeah, I don't think that's where we're going to be tomorrow.
If that's where, I'm see if I can put this on the screen here. I don't know if you can see it or not. You can't, but that is in the water. We got to
make some adjustments to the pin there.
We got to do the float thing, the survival float.
Honestly, on like one of those flamingo tubes, doing the show would be a heck of a time.
Maybe they got us on one of those ducks.
Where we got to pedal?
Yeah, we're just walking around, just doing that the whole time.
No,
anyway,
but those people know that I would do an honest effort to talk about Mississippi State sports and try my best. But that's not the route you're going.
No.
But
we will
miss Robbie, and we're happy for him.
Yes. And Robbie's not going away too far. Don't worry about that. Like I said, he'll make his own announcements when the time comes. But, so we've got today's podcast, The Rumblings, is his last Rumblings with us. And then tomorrow's pod is going to be interesting. It's already basically done. I have 2 interviews already done for tomorrow's show. And then Friday will be, we'll preview the Ole Miss series, obviously, but we'll look ahead and give him the microphone for the last few minutes there to say whatever it is that's on his mind. So, but we love Robbie. Thunder and Lightning will continue. I feel like Bane in The Dark Knight. Thunder and Lightning will continue. Anyway, it's not going anywhere, guys. You got nothing to worry about. 5 days a week, you will still be able to see this podcast pop up on your phone, and you can listen to it wherever you get podcasts from.
So at the end of Friday's podcast, when it's over, after he says whatever he says.
Right. Don't worry, I've already got a plate glass window for him to throw me through, like Shawn Michaels did to Marty Jannetty when they broke up the Rockers.
You just got to have this song playing.
I was going to go Boys to Men. Going to go a little Hard to Say Goodbye. I hope you have the time of your life.
I mean, how many high school graduates played that song and cried?
Should I go like Vitamin C, Graduation? You know? As we go.
Yes, you should. That's so much better. Yes, you should.
Yeah.
That's the one.
We'll figure something out for him. So.
But yeah, good. Good.
I am not happy for Robbie. There is still time to walk this back. When I know what Robbie's next step is. Once he announces everything, it'll all be clear.
Yeah,
he's running for president.
See, I like the rumblings. I would have a great time doing stuff like that. That'd be
Briley St. Clair is my vote to replace Robbie.
Maybe I should do stuff like
she's
that.
She's too famous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do like I can't gimmick. You should
absolutely look. Do it because it's easy content. It's a day you don't have to think.
Yeah.
Everybody else provides the topics for you.
You know, we're going to provide the topics for Kendall Rogers after the news. We'll start the 4 o'clock hour with him. Get some thoughts on this series upcoming in Oxford this weekend. A big one, no doubt. We'll do that after the news.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Super Talk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi, back with you here on a Tuesday afternoon, back on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com. They go with the home team. From D1 Baseball, Kendall Rogers joins the show as he is wont to do this time of year. And Kendall, 3 teams from the state of Mississippi in your D1 Baseball top 25. Mississippi State, Southern Mississippi going head-to-head tonight. Good game down in Hattiesburg a few weeks ago. What do you think we're going to see in this rematch tonight?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me when I look at Southern Miss, I kind of want to see them be a little bit more offensive. I mean, I think if you look at the, first couple of weeks, I thought, Southern Miss, whether it's Matthew Russo, Ben Higdon, that lineup, I thought they were pretty potent. But honestly, if you look at the last couple of weeks, and frankly the last 3 weeks, they just haven't been as offensive. So I think a guy like Russo is kind of top of mind for me in that game. I think they kind of need to get him back in a pretty consistent groove. But yeah, I mean, it's super exciting, and frankly, it's just a big week for both of these teams. I think for Southern Miss, it's kind of they won the series over the weekend, but I still don't think they played their best baseball. I think it's kind of getting back to that brand. And for Mississippi State, you're playing a tough team in Southern Miss, and then you get to go to Ole Miss this weekend. So a huge week for State in terms of making a statement.
Another question about USM real quick. They're number 3 currently in the RPI. They play in the Sun Belt, so the Quad 1 opportunities are going to be a little less for them than are going to be for a lot of the SEC, ACC teams that are up in that area. How high can that team finish if they handle their business when we talk about RPI?
Yeah, I mean, the awesome thing for Southern Miss is they created themselves such a cushion with the non-conference is that they have a little bit of wiggle room in conference. So, they had that series loss to Arkansas State, but their RPI didn't really go anywhere. So, I wouldn't say they have, 2 more series losses left in them, and then they don't really have any repercussions from that. I think they probably have 1. But other than that, I mean, if they continue to win these midweek games, or at least split some of them against these SEC teams, and then take care of business on the weekend, I mean, they'll be an easy top 16 team on Selection Monday.
Looking at from an Ole Miss perspective, Hunter Elliott had his best start of the season, vintage Elliott stuff on Friday. Going into this series with Mississippi State, what do you think about him against this state lineup this weekend?
Yeah, it's cool the fact that he's kind of back on track a little bit. It's not like he was bad or anything, but he wasn't quite as sharp the day I saw him in Houston. But I think for Ole Miss, it does look like Cade Townsend will be back here the next couple of weeks. I mean, just for Ole Miss, just having, a guy like Elliott clicking when you don't have a Townsend, I thought was really big. Because, when you don't have a guy with that kind of arm, available, somebody has to step up, and he did that. So that makes me feel pretty good about Ole Miss, especially considering the prognosis on Townsend's really good. So I just think going into that series, just him get them off to a good start. And, I feel, even though I think Calhoun only went, 3 2/3 or 4 something over the weekend, but I think he's a really good arm. I still have a lot of faith in a guy like that. And so I think Ole Miss is playing pretty well going into the weekend. I think Kentucky's a really solid team they took that series from.
And so where does, in this state series, so we mentioned Hunter Elliott, Ole Miss pitching it really well. On the Mississippi State side, what they present to Ole Miss, possibly without their Friday night starter, what would you do if you were in Brian O'Connor's shoes with your rotation going into this weekend against an Ole Miss lineup that has a lot of power in it?
Yeah, for sure. It's a great question. I mean, ultimately what I would do is just kind of move guys up and then kind of piecemeal, in the series finale. I think the guys that are in there right now, I think have certainly proven they can go out there and give, Mississippi State good starts. So I think for me, just moving guys up, and then, you get to Sunday, they've got pitching depth. So you get to Sunday, and you just kind of figure things out. And so that's kind of where my mindset is.
Let's take a look around the SEC real quick. And I go back to a conversation we had on this show prior to the start of the season, and I asked you something about, who do you think is kind of flying under the radar in the SEC? And you mentioned Oklahoma. Now they're number 8 in the country in your poll. They're playing really good baseball. This is a Sooner team that has a ton of power in their lineup. What do you like so much about this? What did you like about this Sooner team back in February that you're seeing now here in March?
Yeah, I think what's really cool about Oklahoma is there's balance. You don't watch their team and go, man, they've got a glaring hole here or they have a glaring hole there. They're not ultra flashy on the mound, but they've got nice arms. Cord Rager, a freshman, is a really good arm. LJ McCurious, their Saturday guy, is up to 97, 98, really good slider. Cam Johnson, we'll see about that one this weekend. I don't know what Skip Johnson does with that one. This is 2 straight weeks where he's had 13 walks in his last 2 starts. I don't think if you're Skip Johnson going to that Texas series, you could start him again. But the good news for the Sooners, they have depth, they have options. And then you mentioned the offense. Brendan Brock, to me, is one of the more electrifying players in college baseball. He's a catcher who's really good behind the plate, but he's also super athletic. Like, he can steal bases. He can hit for power. And so, Brock has been a really big piece for them. And, of course, Jackson Willips up the middle, one of their premier players in the conference as well. So I think for Oklahoma, the thing I love about them, and this has kind of been Skip and, Reggie Willis, I would call him their offensive coordinator, kind of their approach is they may not always have the most talented lineup, but what they do is they take what they have and they kind of build their entire game plan year after year just around that. There's not like a set formula. They build around that. And this team right now is a perfect example of that.
The other side of that coin, Kendall, would be LSU, a team that you had highly ranked at the beginning of the season, but it just has not clicked for the Tigers. I've seen this movie a few times. I know they're going to get hot at some point, but what is the disconnect here with this LSU team?
Yeah, something's up. I mean, I hate to say they have clubhouse issues, but you watch them play and they get down. The perfect example for LSU that just really kind of blew my mind a little bit is they went to the bottom of the ninth the other day. They're down, I think it was 3-2 or 4-3 to OU, and we've seen it how many times, over and over and over. You get to the bottom of the ninth, the box, it gets electric, and LSU makes a run and wins. LSU goes out there and is lifeless in the ninth inning, and their crowd wasn't really into it. So there's just a different vibe about that team. The bad news is there's a different vibe about that team, and it's not positive. The good news is we all know that LSU can kind of turn it on. So do I think this team is going to turn it on and be a national championship contender right now? Probably not. At some point, as they say, like if it quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. And at this point, we're 4 straight weeks where LSU has been pretty subpar. And so I'm not saying they're going to be that bad, but I think there's an in-between here. I think they're a regional type of team that come on at this point. But, there are guys. It's sitting at like 140 right now. Yeah. So, they've got a lot of work to do in conference play to even make the NCAA tournament.
What's your hot board going to look like for South Carolina?
Yeah, it's got to be Kevin Schnall as your top candidate. You look at the job he's done at Coastal. I know people are going to say, well, it's just 1 year. But, you got to remember, he was pretty much running that program while Gary Gilmore was dealing with a year. one of your guys on that. But if you go beyond that, Troy would be top of mind. I think Nick Mingione with Mitch Barnhart retiring in June, his buyout slashes in half. So, I mean, for South Carolina, like Nick Mingione's kind of an acquired taste, but I tell you what, the guy's done an incredible job. What they've become. And so those would be the kind of the main guys for me. Steve Sabins at West Virginia has done a really nice job there in his second season in Morgantown. He would be another guy. And, you know, there's always going to be the damn time has kind of passed. And frankly, I don't think Dan McDonnell's who they need. I mean, Dan McDonnell does not love the transfer portal. And, you know, it would have a chance to be kind of a Dabo Swinney situation, you know, in baseball at South Carolina where he doesn't really love the transfer portal, but your competition, whether it's Clemson or Tennessee or Ole Miss, Mississippi State, all those schools are utilizing the transfer portal. So, I love the Schnall pick, and he would probably take his pitching coach, Matt Williams, who won our Assistant Coach of the Year award this past year.
Good stuff, Kendall. We always appreciate you, man. Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. We'll talk to you again soon.
You got it, buddy. Thank y'all.
Kendall joins us on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. I was reading some message boards, and I like this theory. So Schnall leaves Coastal for South Carolina, right? Lamonis to Coastal Carolina.
That might work.
Feels like that would be a job. I think he'd be successful there. I mean, I feel like Chris Lamonis, the first 3 years he was at Mississippi State, like our first 2 full seasons he had, you know, 2020 got cut off. Like every time he pushed a button, the right thing happened. I don't think he's a bad coach. I think that they won the national title, and I think he just, for whatever reason, after that, it just didn't go the way he thought it was going to go after he won the national title. And I don't know exactly how else to phrase that. But guy's still a good coach. I think he could be successful in a program like Coastal. I think if he took the South Carolina job, if he was motivated, I think he could be successful there.
If you're South Carolina, though, you can't
do that, no.
Sports Talk Mississippi. We'll be back in the Pearl River Resort studio. We'll tell you what's coming up. Got a couple more baseball thoughts, and we'll get into some other things as well, because that's what we do on Sports Talk Mississippi. We talk sports most of the time.
We drink and we know things.
We do. Most of
It's just Coke Zero, though, guys. Calm down.
We'll be right back.
Sports Talk Mississippi is brought to you by Covington County Hospital in Collins, where your health matters.
This is Sports Talk Mississippi.
Boom! Are you ready for some football?
On Super Talk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Back with you here again on a Tuesday. Brian Hadad and Michael Borkey. Michael Borkey, we got great weather this weekend.
Yeah.
I assume you have to spend a portion of your day, though.
Gonna have to be cutting.
It's time to mow. Well,
2 hours worth on Saturday morning I'm gonna have to be mowing, at least.
You had a little John Deere green, maybe cut that time a little bit for you. I'm just saying.
By 75% with the stupid little push mower I've got right now.
Oh, we got to upgrade you. And you can upgrade right now at Ag Up with a John Deere tractor for only $265 a month. That's right. The John Deere 3025E with loader starting at only $265 a month. They're in their 3 Series tractor blowout. Tractors, mowers, they have all the attachments at your local Ag Up location. And these prices are low. How low? Low. So I'm going to tell you this, though. There's only a limited number of these tractors at these prices. They're not going to last long. I would go by Ag Up as soon as possible. 15 locations throughout the state. There's going to be one near you. Or check them out online on agup.com for all the details. What's up on Sports Talk Mississippi? More baseball talk? Some college football talk? We got to get the college football fix. I'm trying to convince Borkey. It's not just because I'm wearing a purple shirt today. But LSU did open spring practice today. Maybe we could talk about the Tigers because Lane Kiffin already tried to temper expectations down on the bayou.
I've got the audio if we want to play the audio of the attempt to
one
temper
last time with Kiffin.
expectations.
One last go around with his audio. One last, yeah, we were great out there today. Just, it's just different. And make it happen.
Yeah, he did. So clips are going around, and there was one moment where he talked about how the parents in Louisiana are different because they ask questions like, where does my kid fit in your system? And they only ask those questions in Louisiana. Nowhere else do they ask those questions about their players. Just there. Just there. He's an honest guy, always telling the truth, for sure.
Nobody else would ever ask that.
No other parent in any other state would ask that kind of a question. Only in Louisiana do parents want to know if their child fits into the system that you're running. Yeah, that doesn't happen.
There you go.
Anywhere. D1 Baseball's top 25. Ole Miss jumped into it at number 18. Big jump from going unranked to number 18. Are we still undervaluing Ole Miss, though? Number 5 in the RPI. All of their losses are in Quad 1, so not a single bad loss on this schedule. In SEC play, they're 3-3, but 3 of those games came against the best team in the country in Texas. Their strength of schedule right now is 7. Their non-conference RPI is 8. Are we underselling what Ole Miss has done to this point? I think we might be a little bit.
I think so. Go back to the start of the season. I was surprised Ole Miss wasn't ranked. Preseason, I thought they should have been in the top 25. Mm-hmm. For sure. They're 19-6. As you mentioned, all 6 other losses are Quad 1. They don't have a single bad loss. They're 13-0 against Quad 2 down. 1 win over the number 1 RPI team in Texas. They have 2 wins over Kentucky. Those are good wins.
Kentucky number 14 currently in the RPI.
Yeah. Who else did they beat? I'm trying to. Oh gosh, I can't remember. Who do they play in that tournament out there? They beat Ohio State.
They also have a series sweep over Missouri State, who's 9th in the RPI.
Missouri State is kind of an outlier right now in RPI. They have 7 losses.
3 of them to Ole Miss.
But they've played 10 of their 22 games have been Quad 1 games. So that's a team that, look, they're not going to bottom out to the hundreds or anything. Those will still be decent wins for Ole Miss the rest of the year, but that is keeping them afloat a little bit right this second. But this is a good Ole Miss baseball team. When they play their best, they can beat anybody. On a Friday night, throwing Hunter Elliott out there, if Hunter Elliott gives you his best game, you're going to win. Yeah. So, I do think Ole Miss is a little bit undervalued right this second.
A&M at 25, Tennessee at 21, Kentucky at 19. So still a ranked win, although the committee doesn't look at that, but still a ranked series win for Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Southern Miss at 11, Oklahoma and Georgia at 8 and 7, Mississippi State at 6. I saw some state fans taking exception to that ranking. What do you think?
I thought when you look at Auburn, I know Auburn beat Texas, but gosh, watch that game. Maybe one of the craziest defensive blow-ups I've ever seen in the bottom of the 9th inning there. Texas should have won that game. Arkansas losing 1 to South Carolina really should have lost 2, but they lose 1 to South Carolina. I kind of get where people are coming from. State's going to be behind Arkansas for another week or 2, right? Because you just lost 2 out of 3 to them. You play Auburn at the rest of a few weeks from now. If you're Mississippi State, if you just handle your business, this will all take care of itself. You play these teams that are ranked ahead of you. You've already played Arkansas, but you still got a series coming with Auburn. You still have a series coming with Texas. Just don't worry about it. As it would be my message to Mississippi State fans. If State wins the games they're supposed to win, they'll be ranked where they're supposed to be.
So he says, as a State fan, my mind is boggled that Ole Miss is not being taken more seriously. Dang good baseball team. They've got a lot of pieces. A couple, we had a couple people earlier text that, one person said, I'm a State fan anyway, and another was like, you're not giving Ole Miss a chance. When I talk about Ole Miss baseball, I talk about the team in the context of hosting a regional, getting to Omaha, those kind of things. So somebody told me privately that I'm a little too harsh on him. I don't think so. I think I just am judging the program by the standard in which they spend and give to baseball. This team has the pieces that it needs to become that. Yeah. They haven't put it all together yet, which is an encouraging thing, though. They still have not played their best baseball. They get a series win over Kentucky, who's still ranked. Ole Miss didn't play as well as they possibly could, and they were down a weekend arm. So there's still a lot of room for this team to grow. Bottom of the order still needs to produce a little bit. I think that you really just have a pitching staff. Other than Sunday starter, they need to figure that out, whether it's Libert gets improves or they find somebody else for that role. But bullpen is deep. Pitching staff is good. Faceb has been awesome. You always have a home run threat with Utermark. Furness has been good. Federico's figured it out. There's a lot to like about this team. They still have yet to put together a complete weekend, really all season. I know they have sweeps in there, but they have not put together a full weekend all season yet, which is a good thing. They've got to do it, but when they do, look out.
If you underrate Ole Miss, it's because of their hitting. It's just that, and their defense, I guess, plays a role in that as well. But the fact of the matter is, this is not a good hitting Ole Miss team. So until they get that lineup going a little more consistently, 1 through 9, people are probably going to underrate them a little bit. But the top of the top hitters, Faceb, Utermark, Furness, those guys are great hitters, right? But they are carrying this team right now. Mm-hmm. Ole Miss needs more consistency throughout the lineup.
Got to get Dom Decker going. He gets on base a lot, but he gets
like on base.
He gets on base. So
why do I like him?
Gets on base.
Yeah, when I point, you talk.
Yeah. Somebody says the hitting is still pretty awful, isn't it? It's not awful. It's frustrating.
Well, statistically, it's not good.
It's not good, but they have good pieces.
Yeah.
What they don't do consistently is what we talk about it all the time. They don't manufacture offense.
I'm going to give you another Moneyball quote. You ready? If he's a good hitter, why don't he hit good?
It's more to me about approach. You saw it, it's why I asked Mike Bianco about it yesterday. In Game 3 of that series, they had home runs in that game, but what was the difference? They manufactured offense. 4 sacrifices in the game. You have Furness up with the game on the line in the bottom of the 8th, and he just slaps a single the opposite way, and it scores 2 runs. And that's the kind of stuff that this team needs to do more of. There are so many nights where, in Game 2 of the Kentucky series, they didn't work counts at all. If I remember correctly, somebody on the text line, you might remember better than me, to correct me on this. I think through 5, Kentucky starter was at 44 pitches. I think that was the number, but it was an impossibly low number. Single-digit inning after single-digit inning. They didn't force him to do anything. They didn't work counts. A lot of first pitch swinging and that kind of stuff. They can't do things like that if they're going to reach their potential. They've got to do more sacrificing. They've got to not have every person up there looking to hit a 500-foot home run. That's why they won the series, though, because they didn't do that for 3 games. But that's what's been so frustrating this season is there's so much potential there. They're not manufacturing anything. They're not creating anything consistently anyway. If they unlock that, again, look out. But got to be more consistent at the plate. No doubt about that. We'll be right back. Sports Talk Mississippi. Baseball coming up tonight, 6 o'clock. Air times for both. So you're not going to lose us tonight. You're going to have us all the way up to first pitch on all of the stations, whether you're a state station or an Ole Miss station. But you got baseball tonight. We'll, of course, talk about that tomorrow. Look at the slate around the SEC when we come back. Possibly a little top 10 team in danger zone right now in the SEC. So we'll tell you about that when we come back as well. Don't go anywhere.
Sports Talk Mississippi, your new home for exclusive sports coverage here in the Magnolia State.
Let me put it to you this way.
Right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Georgia's number 7 in the country. They're hosting Kennesaw State. Bottom 7, they're down 9-4, so could be a tough loss for the Bulldogs. Uh-oh.
Oh, and hold on, that score has changed. Hold on a second. Hold, please. I'm got to wait on internet here. Any second, this is going to pop up. And it's 10-4 now. 10-4 Kennesaw State. They've got a man on first with 2 down. An unearned run. Walk, stole second, reached, and then an error. 10-4.
How about those Owls, man?
I don't get all the, and it's not happening to everybody, right? It hasn't happened to Ole Miss. It hasn't happened to State. Other than that, I think everybody's got one of these weird losses, right?
Yeah. They're mounting up for the league. But
Texas even has one. Texas lost to Tarleton.
Yeah, that was weird.
Just last week. Georgia, this will be their third midweek loss.
You know what you just did?
What?
Ole Miss is going to lose to Memphis tonight, now that you said that. you just if that happens, you manifested that.
Everything is happening as I have foreseen.
Don't you know that in baseball you're not supposed to talk about stuff like that?
Good.
You know that.
Anyway, but yeah, like Georgia's got a few of these losses. Arkansas has a number. I mean, LSU and Vandy are swimming in it right now. Trying to think my way around. A&M's got at least one. Florida lost one to Florida International. I think they lost 2 out of 3 to High Point. Not a midweek game, but just a non-conference game you wouldn't expect them to lose.
Florida State tonight. That's interesting. USC upstates at Tennessee. Go Spartans. South Carolina's at North Carolina. South Carolina got a win after they fired Paul Maneri. Good.
Should have gotten 2. They had the Saturday game in their palm of their hand.
They did. That's a situation where the interim's going to coach them well enough to where they're just going to hire him.
Right.
Apparently, I forget his name, but apparently he's super well liked.
Is it Monty Lee, right?
I'll take your word for it.
He was the guy who used to be at Clemson, right? They fired for Bakich. Am I correct?
Somebody says, Hadad just did the aim point equivalent on the air. Oh, no, buddy. No. Hadad did not do aim point. Oh, man. I almost recorded a video of Matt Fitzpatrick's playing partner. I forget his name. He's got the goofy name. Was taking 3+ minutes per shot. The slowest player on earth, and he was doing that aim point crap, and I almost recorded it and sent it to you to tell you, like, hey, Dad, this is what I'm talking about.
I just need to find a video of it. Let me see if I can find one.
But not like an explainer. You got to, like, Keegan Bradley doing aim point or something like that is what you got to look up. Not somebody explaining it. You got to see a pro do it.
Here we go. The name of this clip is Keegan Bradley is terrible for golf. So I'll keep an eye out. All right, here we go. So he's 15 seconds into his putt here. He's tamping down the green. What is he doing? Putt the ball. What is he doing? This is awful. How old is this video?
They do that for a minute.
He's not doing anything. Okay. So he's like standing over the ball. Now he's like walking. We're 40 seconds in.
You see?
Yeah, okay.
That's every single putt,
I can't, no. Okay,
green.
You've sold me.
It's horrible.
I'm sold on the idea that this is terrible. Like, dude, putt the ball. Yeah, you win. You win.
Is Justin Parker not a contender for the South Carolina job? Somebody says he most certainly will be looked at. There's no doubt. I saw a South Carolina outlet that put him on the top 4 of their hot board today, for example. That doesn't mean, there's, as we always say in coaching searches, it takes 2 to tango. Both sides got to want the same thing at the same time. But yeah, South Carolina would be dumb not to call him.
Yeah.
And see what's going on there. Somebody says, I missed it. Why did South Carolina fire Paul Maneri?
So if you're watching on SuperTalk TV, I will explain why they fired Paul Maneri. Look around.
Gestures at the team.
This is why, because they're terrible. Like, only Missouri's complete ineptitude towards the sport of baseball has kept them from being the worst team in the conference, and they probably are the worst team this year, or at least they were before they made the change.
Auburn's at South Alabama. Austin P is at Alabama. Missouri at Illinois. Tennessee Tech, Vanderbilt, look out. Commodores, Ole Miss at Memphis. Houston Christian. Name that mascot.
Houston Christian.
It makes no sense at all.
Oh, I think we've talked about this before. They're like the Puddle Stompers or something.
They're the Huskies.
Okay. Never mind. It's not
Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
Where you shouldn't even be allowed to own a Husky.
Correct.
Are the Huskies. Because when I think Houston, Texas, I think cold weather sled dogs.
Yeah.
Central Arkansas is at Arkansas. Southern Miss, Mississippi State. Texas is at Houston. Louisiana Tech is at LSU.
Ooh, that's an interesting game.
Yeah.
Tech, we mentioned them. They took 3 wins off of Southern Mississippi's quad 1 total by dropping down to 60. They're now at 67. Don't do it. If they could somehow beat LSU, they might jump back in. And you could see a situation where if Southern Mississippi beats Mississippi State tonight and LSU or Louisiana Tech beats LSU, USM could wake up with 4 more quad 1 wins than they went to bed with. Yeah. If that's the case, that'd be interesting.
That most certainly would be. So that's baseball upcoming tonight. Speaking of golf, by the way, Scotty Scheffler withdrew from the Houston Open today. Uh-oh. What does that mean? Is he hurt? No, his wife's having their second baby. So all you have to do is you have to be concerned, though, because the Masters is just a few weeks away. He's going to sleep on that terrible dad couch thing that they put in the delivery rooms of the hospital. And that could really screw up his neck for the Masters. I mean, that's what I'm concerned about, though, is he's not on the injury list yet. But he's got to sleep on that thing. And all of you dads out there know that thing is an injury waiting to happen. It's punishment. I swear the hospital gets those beds so you can experience a similar pain that the mother of the child is going through.
They're just letting you know that your life is never going to be great again at that point.
No more comfort.
No more comfort. You had your last comfortable sleep the day before your child was born. Now, immediately you're a dad, your lower back is going to start to bother you. Then your feet, you get a little plantar fasciitis going. Your neck at some point is going to start becoming a little stiffer. It's tougher to look around. Just get used to it.
Those really are one of the most universally understood things among men.
Pain?
That bed in the hospital.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
I slept in the chair.
Oh, good for you. See, I didn't have a chair.
And we had not like a rocking chair, but I was able to lean back a little bit. And I was like, I'll tell you what, I slept good.
Yeah?
I slept good. Like it's like drug induced coma. So speaking of that, today on the Rumblings we had a question about this guy went to a kid's birthday party and like the dads were on one side of the room, the moms were there, and the dads were talking about like installing an oven hood filter and some of the adjustments you can make. And he was like, "Is this something that happens with dads that you just start talking about random topics and everybody gets like, yeah, absolutely, awesome. 100%. It's one of the joys of being a man is you walk in and you're like, so I bought a new air conditioner. Oh, okay. What'd you get? Yeah, and just go from there. Yeah, stuff like that.
I do love, among the universal things also, if you are at a thing that involves kids, amusement park, birthday party, whatever, the dad nod.
Oh, yeah.
If you walk by another dad that you know is just as miserable as you just acknowledge with a little head nod, like, brother, I see you and I hear you.
I'm also old enough now that, like, if somebody asks me, hey, how you doing? I don't say fine anymore. I say, all right now. What's up? Hey, all right now. That's how old I am.
I love that, and especially like in office settings, when somebody asks how you are, 95% of the time they do not want you to answer.
If you say anything other than fine, I hate you.
They're like, good, you? Good. Okay, good. That's it.
Fine, good, living the dream, don't care. It better be positive. I don't want to hear,
but it better be one, like a word or a phrase. If you start actually answering, how are you?
Like, well, I've been,
we just got over a cold in the house, and now we got to get ready for this weekend, and Johnny's got a birthday party. Now,
it's like that quote in The Departed, where he says, like, how's your mother? And he says, oh, she's on her way out. We all are. Act accordingly. It's as simple as that. How you doing? Oh, I'm not doing that great. None of us are. Nobody's happy. Act accordingly. That's how I'm going to view things. So, yes, if you ever see me walking towards you and I'm like, hey, how you doing? I don't care if you're on death's doorstep. Just say fine. Just say fine. I'm doing fine.
I'm fine.
All right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Give me the nod. Give me the double guns if you want. That's it.
But you've got to ask the follow-up question of which the other person knows
how you?
Not to answer. Good. You? Good.
Doing good.
All right.
All right. See you later. See you around.
Sports Talk Mississippi. We'll see you around after the break.
From the venerable...
This is a place for crazy people.
If it's sports in Mississippi, you'll hear about it here. Sports Talk Mississippi on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Borkey and Hadad with you, Sports Talk Mississippi from the Pearl River Resort Studio. So glad that you guys are with us. Deuce McAllister issued an apology today. If you guys missed what he's apologizing for, his son is I think a better basketball prospect than football prospect, right? But he's both, isn't he?
I don't know the answer to that.
But a high-level athlete.
The only former player's son I'm keeping up with now is Eric Dampier's kid. That's the only one.
But Junior Days was at LSU this weekend. Lane Kiffin had Deuce take a picture with him. Lane tweets it. Deuce responds with the just different thing. And obviously that created a stir. As Deuce said, here's his apology. Quite the stir I caused there. Probably not the best phrase to use in that instance, and that's on me. My loyalty, love, and memories that won't change ever. And he said, hashtag hottie toddy. That's Deuce McAllister. He learned a hard lesson, I think, because people are still mad at him. I understand why the Kiffin thing's emotional. His son was at Junior Days. He does daily radio in Louisiana. Him taking a picture with Kiffin's not a thing. He probably shouldn't have said just different. But, see, Deuce McAllister is a normal person, and he probably, even though he saw how everything went down with Lane at the end of his time at Ole Miss, probably expected Lane to kind of act like a normal person, but he's not.
That's on Deuce for thinking that.
That is.
100%.
I would bet my car and my house.
Your car has no value whatsoever.
That's why I said my house.
Nobody likes your car.
That's why I said my house. But there's money in it, like trade-in value. There's something. That he probably was just having a little fun on Twitter. And then what Kiffin does is takes that and sticks the knife in you and just twisted it around, because he used that all day on social media to poke fun and troll and do all that stuff. That's what he does. He did it with a local media member here. I'm not even talking about Ben Garrett.
How about John Sogoloff?
Well, did it with him too.
Oh, so you weren't even talking about him?
No, more recent. It just he has no regard for anybody else as long as he control. And he made it worse for Deuce. And you know who doesn't care at all? Lane Kiffin. So tough lesson learned there from Deuce. I think it'll be fine as the days go on. People were very mad, though. I get it. I mean, it's like Dak Prescott taking a picture with Pete Golding and being like, PG's my guy.
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's not your guy. That is most decidedly not your guy, Dak. But, again, you can't.
I wonder. I don't doubt the person. I'm not calling you wrong, but it's interesting if this is true. Ironic that Deuce never met Kiffin until he was the head coach at LSU. Is that true? He's never met?
That wouldn't surprise me. I mean, look.
Gosh. What a weirdo.
Excellent coach. Elite coach.
Weirdo.
Get him on a whiteboard. Weirdo. Did not effort building relationships with 99% of the people around. Just kind of is what it is.
Yeah. That's weird, though. That's one of the greatest players in your school. And an NFL guy. Like a guy that,
is deeply entrenched within. I mean, his.
According to Romero, I guess Romero Miller, 100% true. That's just fascinating that they never spoke.
Yeah, that's not fascinating. That's pathetic, is what that is. But
well, I mean, you say what you want. Yeah.
But speaking of, Hadad wants us to talk a little LSU. They started spring practice, so he's wearing a purple shirt.
Wearing my purple shirt today,
and
it's St. Al purple though. Let's be honest.
There you go. Tomorrow, by the way, Hadad, I will be in your neck of the woods. You'll already be. And we got word that we'll be sitting on the balcony at a marina looking at water tomorrow.
That's what I was just told. So that. To me, strikes me as, we need a cold beer, maybe some grilled meats, something like that. I don't 100% know, but what I do know is that mornings with Richard Cross, middays with Gerard Gibbert, and Sports Talk Mississippi will be broadcasting from the Columbus Marina tomorrow as the Bassmaster Elite Series comes to town. The Bassmaster Elite Series is the highest level of professional bass fishing tournament. It's happening in Columbus this weekend. Brought to you by Visit Columbus, the City of Columbus, and the Tennessee Tom Bigby Waterway Authority. For more information, you can go to bassmaster.visitcolumbus.org.
Didn't the Bassmaster Classic just drop a rating of 6.5 million viewers? I think they did. They beat every NBA. What was it, 2 weeks ago, right? And it aired on Sunday, and it beat every NBA game that aired that day.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think it was 6.5 million viewers was the number, which is crazy. And it's not like NBA had a bad day that day either, ratings-wise. But it beat it, which is nuts in a good way.
It's great, yeah. You put sports on television, people will watch it. Doesn't matter what it is.
601-879-4395, the C Spire text line. We'll be back right after the news with your college football fix. And yes, this was Hadad's idea. It's not a bad one either.
We don't have a lot of college football stuff. We got to go with what we got to go with.
So we'll do that after the news. Don't go anywhere. Sports Talk Mississippi from the Pearl River Resort Studio.
Your talk. Sports Talk Mississippi. To the junction, in the groove, and to the top. Sports Talk Mississippi on Super Talk Mississippi.
Before we get into the college football fix, Hadad, you said that the lineups are out for the matchup here in Starkville. We went through Ole Miss's earlier. No real surprises, although Payno going to get a shot at shortstop tonight for Ole Miss. But in Starkville, what do we got?
Let's start with the visitors from Hattiesburg. Joey Urban will lead things off for the Golden Eagles. He'll play center. Kyle Morrison at second base. He'll bat second. Davis Gillespie's in left field. He'll bat third. Matt Russo will clean things up at first base. Dre Barrett is at third base. He'll bat fifth. Gray Eubanks, the DH, as Dima told us about earlier in the show. He'll bat sixth. Tucker Stockman is behind the plate. He'll bat seventh. Seth Smith is at shortstop. He'll bat eighth. William Tonsmeyer is in the right field spot, and he will bat ninth. And as we mentioned earlier, on the mound for the Golden Eagles, Thomas Crabtree gets the start. For Mississippi State, it is the same lineup we saw all weekend for Mississippi State. Brian O'Connor really kind of locking into his guys here. Aiden Teal will lead things off and play center. Ace Reese will play third base. He'll bat second. He is the only Bulldog to have started every game this year. Noah Sullivan's the DH. He'll bat third. Reed Stallman cleans it up at first. Both teams with the first baseman in the cleanup spot. Garrick Fry's the second baseman, batting fifth. Ryder Woodson in the sixth hole. He'll play shortstop. Jacob Parker, the true freshman, the SEC freshman of the week, will play right field. Kevin Malewski is behind the plate, batting eighth. Bryce Chance, the SEC's leading batter, batting ninth. And on the mound for State, Chris Billingsley Jr.
Beautiful. Now, let's get into it. This is Hadad's topic idea, so he's going to lead it.
I am?
The college football fix.
Well, then should you do the ad read?
Fire away.
The college football fix is driven by your Mississippi Ford dealers. Built Ford Tough, the Ford F-150. It's the best-selling truck in America. And it has been for 50 years. That's a long time. Don't waste any more of your time. You're looking for a new truck, there's only one place to go. It's your Mississippi Ford dealers. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Earlier today, new LSU head football coach Lane Kiffin met with the media. Here's what he had to say. I'm sure it's enthralling.
Well, I don't have the entire press conference because, are you kidding me? But you did want to bring this up, and so I have the audio of what kind of piqued your interest, and it's him trying to convince his fan base to back off on their expectations for 2026.
And I thought our guys' energy level was high. I thought their excitement was there. Now we have a lot of work to do. You know, said that the first day that we got here, and now that we're into practice format, you know, things don't happen overnight. You know, it takes a lot of work to get a program up to an elite performing program level. And so we're making some first steps, but there's a ton of work to do. And like I said before, we've assembled a good roster, you know, but at the same time, too, you know, there's a ton of work that goes into that to get program back up to where everybody around here wants it to be, and why the reason that we came here. You know, it was 7-6 last season. So within that comes change. Within that comes a lot of work, because that's a long jump to go to the level that I came here to get at, and all the people around the program want to be at.
Message not received.
Yeah, and every LSU fan just thinks right now that he's just poor mouthing a little bit, and that they're going to. And look, I'll be honest with you. I think they will compete for the college football playoff this year one. They've got plenty of talent. He's a good coach. They'll get it going. I think now national championship this year, that's probably not going to be the case. Give him a couple of years to get his guy. It's kind of interesting when I say get his guys in there, because we're not talking about 3-4 years worth of development or anything like that. We're just talking about getting your feet underneath you a little bit more, making your connections work for you a little bit more, and honestly, getting a better quarterback in there. I'm just not sold on Levitt. I'm not going to be until I see him play at an elite level. But that said, every LSU fan, they are all on. I don't know if they're on the national championship or bust. They're definitely on a playoff or bust mentality for sure.
You don't put $50 million into a team to accept a building year. Mm-hmm. It's not what that is. That's not what this era is about. You can't, and that's what the hole that he's digging with the just different, better players, blah, 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 and then you turn around and if you roll out an 8-4 and say, oh, it's just a rebuilding year, the program was in shambles. Oh, wait, you said that it's LSU, that it wins on its own. What are you talking about? What do you mean it's in shambles? The governor helped raise $50 million for your roster. You're paying one offensive lineman, was it $6-7 million a year? You brought in a dozen wide receivers for some reason. On what planet is everything that has been said and done this offseason for a building year? That's what you run into when you message the way he's messaged, and if the team does not perform. If they do, then great. But if they don't, if they find a third loss on anywhere on this schedule, the second they have their third loss, what was the point?
Yeah. And Marty says, he's already got his guys. That's what the transfer portal is for. Yes, but let's not act like Sam Levitt was option A. He was not the first choice. He was not the first choice. He wanted Trinidad Chambliss. He wanted Damon Williams.
He had Damon Williams.
He had him. Yeah. And then at the last second, things change. Levitt was at best number 3.
At best.
At best. So, and like I said, I've watched.
And remember, he was tampering with Ty Simpson before Simpson declared for the NFL draft.
That was out there. So, for me, I've seen Levitt play 2 games live I shouldn't say live. I wasn't in Tempe, but I watched him play against the worst defense in the conference, and he couldn't complete passes. He was completely rattled at the game here in Starkville. the cowbells, the crowd, they got to him that night. And if Arizona State didn't have good running backs, Cam Scatabo won that game 2 years ago. Last year, their running game is what got them back into it in the second half. It wasn't Levitt. I'm just not overly impressed by the guy. I think he's gritty. I think he's a guy that, he's not going to lose games for you, but I don't know that he can go out and win games for you either. You cannot lose games. And win in the SEC.
I mean, he wanted his running back, which, by the way, apparently in this press conference would not refer to Kejuan Lacey by name, but he would Quinshon. It's almost like somebody expected and hired a running backs coach expecting.
He called him the guy from last year.
The guy from last year. Somebody's a little upset that Kejuan Lacey took less money to stay at Ole Miss, isn't he?
I don't know.
A little upset.
I can't get enough of Kiffin. Yeah, sometimes I'm like, God, I hate that guy. Sometimes I'm like, just keep doing what you do, Lane. I can't get enough of you. This is one of them. He's so snippy about it.
If I ever have a daughter, or I guess my son could be like this too.
Yeah.
And he's 16, and he breaks up with his girlfriend, and I hear him acting like that, I will tell him to grow up.
Oh, well.
Can't even refer to her by name.
The girl I used to date.
The girl I used to date? What's her name?
The girl I used to date. He's pulling a Mullen. He's school up north in him.
Yeah, well, it's because you told everybody that Kejuan was coming with you.
A little different with Mullen. He was doing it on purpose.
He was poking a rivalry bear. He wasn't mad because the player didn't follow him like he thought he would.
Right.
Boy, Kejuan Lacey's offer was huge to go to LSU too. It's huge at Ole Miss. He's going to get paid a lot of money.
They're both making
paid a lot of money.
He was going to make money one way or the other.
He would have made a little bit more.
He would have,
and he chose not to.
He wanted to stay. I mean, I don't know.
Kevin Smith, what would you say you do here? Because it's not bringing Kejuan with you like you told everybody you would. It's not that.
What a weird situation.
Totally bizarre. I mean, it's just.
I really want, if we could ever get an on-the-record version of everything that happened, I would love to hear. I would be locked in. Absolutely locked into, the final days of Lane Kiffin documentary. But I got to get, as long as everybody's being as truthful as they can be. But
yeah,
I don't want fluff.
Like the players
like the last Lane Kiffin documentary, all fluff.
Do you see Ryan McGee talked about that a while ago, where he felt used? It just straight up was like he used me.
Ryan, if you had called, I would have been more than happy to tell you the truth of that matter.
Yeah, one of the things that we need to know in this documentary, we need to hear the details of, and we got a little bit of insight on it, is him refusing to meet with the Players' Council and hiding in his office. And them having to go to his office honestly, and not letting him in.
The best way to get honesty in a documentary like that is to not talk to Kiffin at all.
100%.
Everybody
else and then him.
Yeah, he's the last guy. He says this. Well, 3 other people said this. Yeah,
you behind a podium and you leak to your CAA buddies that, the players voted to keep you. Well, all of the players have spoken on record and said that's not true.
Out there. That was determined to be a lie. Exactly.
Hey, Dad, you're cooking again. It's your college football fix driven by Ford. We'll be back.
From the Venable Sports Talk Mississippi. Sports on your radio and in the game. Super Talk Mississippi.
I will not allow my own family, my own flesh and blood, to accuse me of anything being rent-free. You're not trolling me, cuz. You get out of here with that. I don't think about Lane Kiffin, except when I'm laughing at him.
Yeah, you wanted to bring him to the show.
Again, we got nothing else to talk about.
I wasn't planning. When does Lebby talk to the media again?
Incredibly, Sunday at 11 when everybody's on the road to Oxford. I don't know what they're doing. Like, I'll be on the road.
Coach.
Can we not do this on a Thursday or something?
So Pete Golding will talk to the media. Let's see.
Gotta be soon, right?
March 31st will be his first media availability. They start practice, though, on Friday.
Okay.
But on March 31st is when he will have his first press conference. So looking forward to hearing from him. That'll be the first time we've heard from him, since signing day?
Yeah.
Or no, since the playoffs. Because signing day was before the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
So this will be the first time. They had the ice storm, so they didn't have a quote-unquote signing day press conference like other coaches did.
Yeah.
Because the city was universally without power at the time. So it's been a long time. Months since we've heard from Pete Golding, and you'll get practice video and all that stuff. So looking forward to that. Oh, somebody not being nice says Lebby doesn't want anybody reporting on them. No, he doesn't have baseball in the brain is the more likely answer, but troll away, sir.
Yeah, I just don't. I wish that they maybe push him to Monday.
Are you going to all three?
I'm planning to. Yeah, I will actually be doing the show Friday from the Oxford studios, the Richard Cross Memorial Studio there, and then
Richard's not dead.
He's not dead.
I know, but
he doesn't go to that studio anymore. So, and then Saturday, Sunday, I'll be out there. I may try. I know I spoke with our friend Hayden, who runs the North Mississippi station. He said that they do a pregame show from the square. If I get into town on time Saturday, I might try to make that and come by and speak to my beloved Rebel fans, who I know will show me the respect and love that they're known for. Wait till they see me. They love me.
Online's not reality times 100.
You're right.
Every time you go to Oxford, you get treated well. Every time I go to Starkville, I get treated well. Every time. Every single time. I run into listeners of this show in town here that are State fans. All good. Ole Miss fans tell me, I like that Hadad guy all the time. And then you go on Twitter.
Well, yeah. Twitter's not real. It's not real life.
Message boards
it is
either.
a hellscape.
Message boards either.
Keep your cowbell in the car. My cowbell never travels. I don't ever take my cowbell on the road.
No.
Stays.
You also sit in the working media section.
You
don't do any audience participation of any kind.
I do have my cowbell. The one that Dr. Keenum gave us is sitting right over there on my memorabilia shelf that I have here in the office.
I've got mine just at the house.
There you go. So, did I tell you my sign finally showed up? By the way, I ordered a sign from one of our sponsors, and they had a shipping problem, and I just got this sign, which I hope I can never use, but this finally came in. So I have it. I hope to never use it, but I wanted to have
caution. Basketball season has been canceled.
I wanted to have it right here throughout the season, and if somebody brought up basketball, just don't make me tap that. Don't make me tap the sign. Hopefully, never use this again though. But it's a cool looking sign. I appreciate it.
I want some signs. Signs.
I'm just going to tell you the same thing I always tell you. Get your game up. All right? Get your game up. Get you some sponsors. Get you some people. Like, I got people. You need people. Get you some people.
I need people.
Get you some people. All right?
I do need people.
I make a phone call right now. I get a free meal.
Well, I could do that, too.
You say that. Could you?
Yeah.
How well would I be treated in Baton Rouge?
At your mom's house. Oh, got him. Sorry.
She's sitting at home right now she got a big wound in her head. She fell.
I had to.
What's wrong with you? Marty, he's going after your Aunt Edna. Don't let him do that.
I got him. Pow, pow.
You need to get you a just different sign. That's a good point. How well would I be treated in Baton Rouge? Well, I mean, if I was, hanging out with our family down there, be treated great.
Nobody gets treated well in Baton Rouge. Have you been?
I've been many times. Like I said, the times I'm with my family down there, I have some Tiger family, as you know. They treat me great. But, once you venture out into the wild, you never know.
You do never know.
So.
You do never know. Although I do like the live tiger thing on campus. That's awesome.
That
cool, absolutely rules.
Yeah.
Big cats are...
Everyone just dislikes Richard, You're telling me John Big Porky Johnson isn't a real person?
Apparently not.
Is that one of the Ole Miss burners? I don't recognize that name.
I don't know. They don't tweet at me if it is.
Okay.
So
that's not a name that I recognize.
Or maybe that's like Hail State Diamond or Diamond Hail State, whatever it is.
The worst. When it starts infiltrating my group text, I'm like, I'm out with this. No. I can't go any further.
No.
This week it was Tim Corbin after the game said they didn't beat us, NIL beat us. And I was like, first off, Tim Corbin saying that would be the most ironic thing ever said in the history of the world. But secondly, he didn't say that.
Correlation doesn't always equal causation, but he's had his worst run at Vanderbilt after the scholarship thing changed and they couldn't cheat the system anymore. It's not a
coincidence. Now, we say that. All right. Now, last year, they were the number one overall seed going into the NCAA tournament, right? They were the 1 seed.
Yeah.
But they didn't even get out of their own regional. And now, it's not looking great. So
it's not the same. And does that mean that over the years we talked about the scholarship disadvantage was justified? I don't know. But it's not the same.
It's looking like that was the case. But we'll see. I will say, I don't know if I mentioned it, but no Whistler this weekend in Starkville.
Yeah, you did mention it.
An absolute blessing from the Lord. I was, by the time somebody mentioned him on Sunday, I was like, shut up. We've gotten this far.
I don't wish him physical harm, but I do hope, like, on his way out of his driveway, he ran over a nail and couldn't take that ugly van to Starkville.
One recruit to say, I thought about going to Vanderbilt, but I didn't want to put up with that whistling the whole time. Just one person to say, one elite recruit to say, I went somewhere other than Vanderbilt because of this person. And maybe that'll get him enough to stop.
Be gone. He does it at basketball games. I assume football games too, but
you wouldn't notice it though.
People
like at a football game, it would be impossible to notice one guy whistling. But at baseball, it's just different because there's just spells of quiet like that. So.
The worst person in the world.
He's on of the non-criminal people who are just annoying, who haven't actually done anything illegal, right? They're just annoying people. He's high on the list. Very high on the list. I mean, universally loathed.
Harvey Updike, I know he's dead now. What he did was worse than Whistle, I think. When you
That's a crime. We're talking about that's an actual crime. Right.
Although the whistling, maybe it should be.
It's a crime against humanity, but it's not an actual crime.
Yeah. Updike is...
Yeah. You can't... Not the same. It's just not the same thing.
The... what is it? The Buckeye guy went to
now we're getting somewhere. This is a guy that went to the funeral and signed the thing. Yeah, okay.
Former players and teammates were signing something and he went up and signed
it, yes. He's on the list.
Can't do that.
He's on the list. If we're talking about worst fans, he's on the list.
He's up there.
Yeah.
I can't think of many more. I mean,
the Chiefs guy that
Chiefsaholic.
Yeah, he got arrested.
That moron was robbing banks wearing the costume that he is famous for wearing at Chiefs games. What did he think was going to happen?
Yeah, he would be on the list for sure.
Taylor Swift. I mean,
my wife, an LSU fan, refuses to go back to Oxford after having a bottle thrown at her walking through the Grove. But yeah, only LSU has idiot fans. Nobody said only LSU.
Not one person said that. Not one person. They just have more of them.
See, you just did it. You just made that guy's point. Don't say that.
No. I mean, yeah, that's an unfortunate thing.
Nobody's condoning that.
No, absolutely no.
Absolutely not.
No, it's pathetic. And that kid that did it should have spent the night in the drunk tank and dad cutting off his unlimited credit card. That's what should have happened to him. And if it actually hit her, maybe something worse.
I got a funny text that I'm going to read when we come back.
Okay.
Not a text, I'm sorry, a tweet. Somebody tweeted at me about you.
Oh, no.
It's funny.
Oh, God.
No, trust me, you don't. It's not. They're not calling you out or anything.
Okay. I've had enough of the burners.
It's not even a burner. Well, it is a burner, but regardless.
Yeah, this weekend was a tough one.
We'll take care of it when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi here with you on a Tuesday.
State Sports Talk Mississippi. Sports Talk Mississippi.
You know I love sports.
On Super Talk Mississippi.
All right. From Kaiser Sose on Twitter. Not only is Borkey using effort as a verb, now he's using message as a verb. Kiffin can't message the way he's messaging. Maybe not an exact quote, but close. Message is not a verb like that.
It certainly
I
can
messaged
be.
him could be that, but
it certainly can be.
You can't message that way? I don't know about that one.
I mean, I know I'm smarter than you, burner guy, but like
you don't know that. That could be anybody.
You got to catch up here.
That could be anyone. Could be a professor of English.
Well, professor of English do not post online that way.
Professors of English.
A professor of English.
A professor
does not post online.
Does not, then. Yeah, you can't say professor of English do not. You just screwed it up. You tried to make yourself look smart. I'm smart.
I mean, I'm not the one correcting grammar online, burner account guy.
That's a good point. I'm just saying. I thought that was funny.
No, that was funny. You can't message like that, though.
You can't. If you're a burner account, you can't message like that. I thought, yeah, that's good stuff. Appreciate you, Kaiser.
Yeah,
like the wind.
I need to get back on Facebook. Facebook needs to be my social media choice.
Yeah, you're not a Facebooker.
No, not at all.
So
I'll
send you a link
events.
to Hail State Diamond, and you can start getting all the breaking news as it happens.
I need to get my information.
Does Ole Miss have one of those?
Oh, yeah, there's a few that pop up in the feed. One, remember, we got a good laugh of it during football season that said that Kiffin was donating his entire salary to Planned Parenthood or something.
There was the
like
other one that the Ole Miss was hiring all the homeless people to clean the stadium for $30,000 a year or something. Like, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that's right. Anything, with an AI picture, that's good stuff. That's the good stuff. Right there.
I need to be a Facebook guy. I think that's where I need to go. Again, I can't do Twitter anymore.
Yeah. What about Instagram? You had a kid, so you can put pictures of games.
I have an Instagram. It is
private,
though.
I very rarely use it
because I want to.
I see.
Use that as intended.
Okay.
Like, hey, friends, here's mine. Oh, look, that's yours. You guys had a birthday party. That's great. That I want one social media to not be.
I hear you. To not be infected.
Because all the other ones are infected.
I got you. I understand. I looked the other day. I have like 350 friend requests on Facebook. And it's like you have two mutual friends, Robbie Falk and Steve Robertson. Okay. We probably don't actually know each other. I appreciate it, but there are pictures of my children on here. So
that's Blue Sky. Yeah, I'm gonna go on Blue Sky.
You can't be on Blue Sky in Mississippi.
Really? Why?
Because SuperTalk had a story about this. Let me see if I can find it.
Because there's Republicans here. Is that what it is?
Blue Sky. Here it is from SuperTalk Mississippi Media. Our good friend JT Mitchell. The U.S. Supreme Court refused for the time being to block enforcement of a state law aimed at regulating the use of social media by children, one that requires major platforms to require users to verify that they're older than 18 or have parental permission if using social media as a minor. And Blue Sky noted that the law is intended for child safety, but it believes it poses broader challenges and creates significant barriers that limit free speech and harm smaller platforms like ours. So long story short, you can't be on Blue Sky in the state of Mississippi. You have to use a VPN if you want to be on there.
So Blue Sky's stance was you...
See, you're painting with a broad brush. I get what they're trying to say.
But also...
Yes. Yes, what you're going to say is correct.
It's bad for us if we can't let children use our website unchecked?
Something like that, yeah. So, long story short.
I certainly trust those people.
You can't be on Blue Sky.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Sounds terrible. I'm sure I'm missing out on so much with that as a
You're missing out
policy.
You're missing out on Every Day Should Be Saturday. He is exclusive to Blue Sky now. Our friend Spencer Hall.
At least Facebook is hiding the fact that they steal my data.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, we're not saying. Now, I do enjoy a good, and it happens every now and then. You get every year or so, you get a little rash of, I saw this on Channel 6 News, so here it goes. I do not allow Meta to take my information. Channel 6 News, really? Who in this day and age is still doing Channel 6 News?
Oh, man.
So the most recent one said I saw it on 60 Minutes. I was like, at least I can respect that, but I know that it's not true.
I miss MySpace. Remember MySpace?
I never got on MySpace. I got on Facebook kind of late.
You never had MySpace?
No, I never did MySpace. Never, I don't know what my song would have been that you would have played.
And you had your top friends. That was always controversial in middle school.
Yeah. I didn't have any of that.
Ooh, if somebody dropped you out of their top friends or you dropped them out of your top friends, it was a problem the next. Oh, buddy. Yeah.
Once you go to Twitter, you don't go back to Facebook. It's a much worse experience, Borkey.
Oh, I know it is.
I will say this. It is comforting to see burners say dumb stuff as opposed to people you actually know.
Yeah,
like that person was a teacher. What's going on here? When you see your aunt share a picture of Obi-Wan Kenobi and say, I bet nobody else has the bravery to share this picture of Jesus, like, Aunt Rose, that's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, there aren't actual photographs of him. You realize that, correct? That's Ewan McGregor with long hair and a robe.
But you're not even immune to that on Twitter. You got into hot water yesterday on Twitter for a joke.
Oh, my God. Don't even get me started on that.
It was a very funny joke, by the way. Great job.
I deleted the tweet.
Did you really?
I couldn't take it anymore.
I get why.
It's like
the Pope having a Mississippi State baseball jersey is an objectively awesome thing.
It's awesome, and yet there's some funniness to it, right?
Yeah.
Like, did we rescind our deal after the national championship? Was he able to reword that contract or something? I don't know. But, yeah, people got mad. Brian, be my friend on Facebook. I promise I'm not crazy, and we probably have multiple mutual friends. Benny, send me a request.
No.
I want to see the mutual friends, though.
No, he said, I promise I'm not crazy. You know who says that?
People who are crazy.
Crazy people.
Crazy people. I want to see the mutual friends. I always look for Vicksburg people in my mutual friends. If you know somebody I went to high school with, chances are we're okay.
Yeah.
But I've had said too many where it's like you have 5 mutual friends, and it's Robbie Falk, Steve Robertson, Brandon Walker, John Cohen, and Ben Howland or something.
I want to be friends with John Cohen on Facebook.
A lot of baseball talk on there, so you can imagine.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, you nailed it. Hey, Dad, better to not to know the idiot's posting. Yeah, it's you see a bot, you see a burner say something stupid, you're like, that guy's got no life. You see a guy that you went to high school with, you're like, I knew you. We've talked. We've had a legit face-to-face conversation. All right, I just got a Facebook.
Uh-oh.
Is this him? This can't be him.
It's got to be him. If it just happened?
No, this guy went to St. Al, so.
There's no way that just happened. It's got to be him.
This guy's name isn't Benny.
Well, could be lying on the text line. We have a guy named Shaq Bully that texts the show. Do you think that's his government name?
This guy is also not from Starkville. He went to Ole Miss. This is an Ole Miss guy.
He wants to be your friend. He's listening right now.
Benny did send me one. All right, hold on.
There you go.
We have 13 mutual friends.
Okay.
Decent start. We have 14 mutual friends. Okay. Okay, I know her. You're in, Benny. You're in.
Wow. Making friends, influencing people. That's what we do here.
All right. This other guy, he went to St. Al, so I guess I got to be his friend.
Apparently the Pope got a Saints jersey from Gail Benson.
All my teams are set.
Can we get the Pope to tell Gail to bring the gold back? Like, hey, black and gold means black and gold. Not this tan crap khaki that you're wearing now.
on the C Spire text line. I do not permit Sports Talk Mississippi to use my likeness or sell my data to interested parties.
We do have your phone number. We do have your phone number.
We do have your phone number. We can do whatever we want. We can do whatever we like.
I'm going to sign you up for cat facts.
Why don't I ever see y'all in my Twitter feed? I followed y'all. I may have blocked you, Larry. You're a big Ole Miss fan. You may have said something to me one time. You gave me a hottie toddy, and I was like, this guy's got to get out of there.
Hop on over to the following tab and then hit the down arrow for recent. There's a lot of stuff you probably miss.
I literally just said, I don't permit it. This guy. He also says, what about me, Hadad? We have no mutuals, and I don't know you, but it could be fun.
It could be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could be something else, too.
Now I'm getting a bunch of friend requests here.
I did tell you the story, but the time where people were waiting for me at my house when I got home from work one day. Did I tell you about that?
Now you talking about the guy in the parking lot?
That happened too. That was around Hugh Freeze. Stood in between me and my car because he did not like what was said about Hugh Freeze. Not by me, by the way.
Which, by the way, never mind that. Whatever you said was probably true at this point.
It was absolutely 100%
true.
But it was a previous iteration of the show.
But you had somebody at your home.
Yeah, but it wasn't about the show. It was they looked up.
What, like it was a tour? Like it's Graceland?
It was a local small church that I guess looks at people that buy houses in the area.
Oh, okay. That's a little different.
But they showed up to my house. They were waiting for me at home.
No, I get it. I get that it's weird. I'm just saying it's not as bad as like a stalker.
No.
Okay.
But they did refer to me as James. They looked at it is public record, I guess, when people buy houses in towns, but I didn't like that. That made me a little uncomfortable. Facebook makes me uncomfortable.
Well, then, but you just said you're going to get back
Except
on
for
it.
Hail State Diamond, where you get all your news.
Where I get all my Mississippi State news.
We'll be back.
In the Venable.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. This is your new home for exclusive sports coverage here in the Magnolia State. Sports Talk Mississippi on Super Talk Mississippi.
Peter Griffin could be John Hopper. Like, if John Hopper wanted to go as Peter Griffin for Halloween, he could do that, and vice versa. Could absolutely pull it off. I don't know if Peter Griffin can play the harmonica, though.
I don't think so.
Probably not. We are just 5 minutes away from first pitch here in Starkville between the number 11 Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles and the number 6 Mississippi State Bulldogs. Top 11 match. So close to a second top 10 matchup. D1 couldn't do us a favor. These rankings are totally arbitrary. They could have made them 10th.
Could have.
Could have helped us out here. But good big game for both these teams. For State, obviously, you'd like to get that win back from the loss in Hattiesburg. You'd like to keep the momentum going. You're on a 4-game winning streak. Heading into this series in Oxford, would love to do that. For USM, this is another chance to have a monster win on your resume. There is a great chance that a lot of SEC teams will not beat Mississippi State twice this year. Vanderbilt obviously won't. So that could be a huge win for the Golden Eagles, who, as we mentioned before, already have 8 quad 1 wins. And if things go their way down in Baton Rouge with Louisiana Tech down there, they could pick up 4 quad 1 wins in one day. That's a pretty good day at the office. So, like I said, we've already given you the lineups and everything, but that game will start off all over the place here in just a few minutes. If you're a Super Talk listener, if you got a Mississippi State station, if you're here in the Starkville area, it's not 100.9. It's WLZA is the flagship station here for Mississippi State sports, 96.1. You're taking shots at Senator Tuberville, I see.
Yeah, he's a hypocrite.
Well, I knew that, so.
It is truly amazing. More on Cross in the Morning. What day is tomorrow? Wednesday? Well, he'll be there.
He'll be there. He'll be there.
how so-called conservatives turn into outright communists the second college football is brought up. I mean, he is.
Well, it's the same guy, by the way, like going to get on athletes for transferring. Left Ole Miss in the dead of night to go to Auburn. As you mentioned earlier, left, was it Texas Tech to go to Cincinnati? In the middle of a dinner with a recruit.
Yep, didn't even tell him.
But players can't leave.
We probably need to not go too far on that, but I can't help it sometimes. Just a complete and total hypocrite. If you're a conservative, there's a way to go about it, and this isn't it. Based on your principles, if you had any. But that's asking for too much. Hey, Dad. It's asking for
somebody asking
for too much.
As far as Twitter goes, if somebody says that you eat corn the long way, would you block them? They were just wondering. Would you block somebody for that?
I think so.
Okay, just wait. Nobody knows. We're just trying to find out. What's your limit?
I don't block people.
You're not a blocker? Oh, I'll block them.
I will mute.
No, some people need to know. Some people need to get that message. I don't even want them having any interaction with me whatsoever.
I will mute.
You got to go pretty far for that, but I will allow that to happen for sure. Mute is the preferred choice because then they're just screaming into the void.
Into the void.
But
we will scream into the void tomorrow to recap what happens on the Diamond tonight. And I mean, we'll keep previewing the series upcoming in Oxford. We got a lot going on tomorrow. We're going to talk bass fishing tomorrow.
We got a busy day plus the remote. So we'll be talking about the Bassmasters Classic here out on the Columbus Marina. That's a great fishing spot. I'm excited to see how that goes.
I'm really looking forward to hitting the road. It's been a while since we've been on the road. When is the last time
the last remote we had?
Was it 2020?
It may have been at Stones.
What day was Ole Miss Tulane? That was in January,
right?
right?
Okay. No, that was in December. That was the last time.
December.
That was the last time.
Wow.
That was the last one. So
it's been a while.
The Friday. It's been a while since I could go to a remote with Borkey.
I can't wait. I'm so excited to get back up and
I'm excited that
it's
a 25-minute drive. That's the best part for me. So I'll be home at a relatively decent hour.
2 hour and 25-minute drive.
Well, that's on you. That's on you. I would tell you that I would buy you lunch if you got here on time, but I'm not going to have time to do that. So.
Yeah. It's almost like you got stuff to do. You got a kind of a big thing that you got to get figured out and execute.
I got a lot going on tomorrow. Let's put it that way. I'm a busy man.
We'll see you guys tomorrow from the great city of Columbus.
That's right.
From a balcony overlooking the lake.
Marina.
Well, but the marina is where the boats dock.
It said marina. Let's keep the verbiage clean.
But a balcony is going to overlook the body
of water. The balcony part is fine.
Yeah, but it's going to overlook the lake, and the marina sits on the lake.
It's a river, isn't it? We're on the Tobibby River.
Yeah, but isn't it a lake, too?
I don't think so.
We'll learn that tomorrow, and we'll get to tell you all about it. We'll see you tomorrow at 3. Y'all have a good night.
Oh, it's incredible! A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.